Today's lesson is going to combine everything we've learned in Unit 5 so far. You should expect to see adding, subtracting, and multiplying decimals and applying those into word problems. Before I get into the word problems, I just want to quickly review how we would multiply two decimals like this. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as multiplication without any decimals. So getting rid of the decimal in my second number, it is now just going to be the whole number 31. Unlike when we're adding or subtracting, we don't need to line this up. Okay, if you add in the decimal and add in the zeros, you're going to create more work for yourself, and also it makes it more likely that we'll make a small math mistake. Okay, so avoid doing that, and again, rewrite the problem as two whole numbers. We'll come back at the end and deal with the decimal place. When we are multiplying this way using the algorithm, we start with our ones place value on the bottom. So the 1 here times the 9, and then we move to the second place value up top, 1 times 8. You're going to go in order, so after you've multiplied everything up top by that first place value, you can cross it off and move on to the second one. This 3 is currently in the tens place, so we put in a 0 placeholder and the ones place in our answer, starting a new row so that that 0 falls underneath the 9 that we first multiplied. Then we continue multiplying just as we did with the 1. So I'll start with 3 times 9, which will give me 27. Just like when we add, we only put down the first place value and we have to carry the other one. So I'll put down the 7, carry the 2. Right? I'm not going to do anything with that 2 that I've carried until I multiply first. So 3 times 8 gets done first, which will give me 24. And then just like when we're adding, add in what you carry, giving me 26. After we have found both of these products, meaning I've multiplied the top by the 1 and by the 3, I'm going to combine those two products. 9 plus 0, 8 plus 7, and once I have my answer here, I'm going to go back into the original problem. I'm going to count how many decimal place values there are. 89 has no decimal place values, meaning there are no numbers after a decimal point. The second number has 2 numbers after the decimal. You combine those two, and that tells you how many decimal place values your answer should have. So I take the answer I got when I multiplied, and I make it so that there are 2 decimal places in that answer. One thing I'll be looking for today is that you are underlining or circling important information as we read through word problems. Okay. In this problem, we have 3 friends and they are visiting a snack station. Ella spends $4.65, Sheena spends $3.08, and Chloe spends 98 cents. How much money do they spend altogether? So I know I'm going to need all 3 of those values, and I want to put them all together. Okay, this is going to be adding. The word altogether can indicate adding or multiplying. If I'm looking at the units in this problem, they are all dollars, which is a hint to me that I should add and not multiply. Okay, they are also all different values, so I couldn't take one and multiply it there. Remember, when you're adding and subtracting decimals, you're going to line up your decimal. To combine all 3, I can actually put all of them one on top of each other, as long as, again, the decimal points are lined up. Please make sure you're vertically aligning, meaning top to bottom, and showing your work. So 5 plus 8 would be 13, 8 more would be 21. So I can see that you're completing this work when I can see the numbers you're carrying. 2 plus 6 would be 8, plus 9 more is 17, and 1 plus 4 plus 3 is 8. When you have them lined up, all you need to do is drop your decimal point down, and make sure, because this is a word problem, it has a label. We're talking about money, so we can just put a $sign. Alright, in this last example I'm about to do, I'm going to again read through the question, circle and underline important information, and then think about what operation this will indicate. Jasmine ran 4 5/10 miles on Monday and 3 6/66 miles on Tuesday. How many more miles did she run on Monday and Tuesday? In this question, we want to find the difference between these two things, and the difference tells me I should be subtracting. Okay, so I'm looking to find the space in between 4 5/10 and 3 66/100. Again, we want to make sure when we set this up, we're going to vertically align our numbers, so one on top of the other, and make sure their place value is the same. So the 4 is in the ones place, so I'm going to make sure that the 3 from the ones place here is directly underneath it. When we have an empty space, so there's not a number above or below, when we subtract and add, fill that in with a 0. What makes the subtraction problems a little bit more difficult is remembering to regroup. Okay, so we're trying to take the bottom amount away from the top. So I cannot take 6 away from 0, so I regroup from the previous place value. 1 less than 5 would be 4, which allows this 0 to become 10. 10 take away 6, I can do, which is 4. Moving on to the next set of aligned numbers, I want to take 6 away from 4, which again I cannot do, so I'm going to regroup back to the 4. 1 less than 4 becomes 3, putting a 1 in front here, this is now 14. 14 take away 6 leaves me with 8. 3 take away 3 is 0. Again, we drop our decimal point down in our answer, as long as you have it lined up correctly, and make sure again, if it's a word problem, I'm going to include a label here.